Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for February 28th through March 6th of 2021. So this forecast was posted early because I will be off the grid for one more week. Thanks for understanding and being patient with me on email and text responses. I don't do this often, but posting 2 weeks at a time will help keep us all on track, so enjoy. Our week kicks off on March 3rd, which is Wednesday, with Venus sextiling Uranus. Okay, so real quick before we dive in, last week was basically all about you, and this week is all about your connections with others or your ideas for collaborating with others. It's a different kind of vibration this week. Last week was more earth and water. This week is more air and fire. Let's play with that too. So Venus sextiling Uranus is the energy that activates a certain spark of electricity in the air. New relationships will have an unusual aspect to them, and old ones can break to realign in a positive, even fun way with this energy. No monotonous routine, humdrum people, or boring collaborations with this one. Use it to access your unique genius and deep well of creativity, and then share, if you can, with other like-hearted souls. Take advantage of this energy to tap into areas you may not have realized were available to you before now. Keep it light and upbeat. Socialize and enjoy the experience of different people or new activities. Keep in mind, however, any relationships begun this week may not be based on qualities needed for long-term survival. It is more a time to enjoy the people and experiences that pass through at this time and accept them as a gift. Same day, Mars enters Gemini until April 23rd. So all of March and almost all of April. Okay, everyone, we are still navigating Gemini North Node, which means the general life path and direction for all of us has to do with the current upgrade in the social collective consciousness when we're being presented with wildly new ideas and different options for living these days. So Mars moving into Gemini will kick off some additional energy around who you are, what you want, and how you go about getting it accomplished. In this case, it's all in the presentation. How you communicate and express your desires will have a tremendous impact on whether they manifest or not. So of course, Mars' usual aggressiveness will only be appropriate under the right circumstances. Otherwise, keep in mind that there is power in the spoken word. So be more expressive, play with language, and discover new ways to express who you are. You'll have access to some brilliant intellectual creativity, so activate your innate curiosity about life and allow your imagination to guide you sometimes. This will also be a time and energy that allows you to do more personal processing than usual. The focus will be all about you, as it were, so investigate your own nature. Ask yourself questions. Do you still want what you say you want? Are you pursuing what you really desire or settling for what's available? You've probably heard me say to never make your nature wrong. Your nature is your nature. You've come to learn how it works. So for the next 2 months, explore new ideas or possibilities and experiment without attachment when you can. Keep in mind the shadow of Mars in Gemini is fighting with words or being split or divided within. So be mindful of that in yourself and others. Deep breath. So before we get to the Mercury activation, which is special, and the questions that I'm sharing with you this week that are also kind of fun and special and different, let me just say here that there's a rhythm to the year that I am big on making sure that you all are aware of and understand. And the way you can remember how that rhythm goes, the easiest way these days is because everybody sort of knows the zodiac signs from Aries to Pisces. But right now, we're in Aquarius time. Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, Scorpio are the fixed signs. So when you think of those energies and lessons that they activate and animate for us, they have everything to do with our self-worth and self-value in one capacity or another. But they also are the aspects of ourself that are either the hardest to let go of because they're so fixed and entrenched in our lives that it's very hard for us to break free of that, or they're actually where we can permanently let go, where we break to realign and birth a whole new foundation, and they're excellent for that. So I call these the bones, because basically our bones don't change very much. They grow to where they grow, and that's it. So the fixed energies and the fixed time of year, which is Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, Scorpio time, which would be May, November, and February, August. Those times of year are when we want to think about anchoring or releasing permanently. Because then we move from what we've either anchored permanently or released permanently into Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sag time, which I call the processors of the zodiac. This is the time of year every year that precedes winter, spring, and summer, fall. So the month before winter, spring, summer, fall, we're in a processing time. We're either processing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. There's space and time throughout the year for all four, but they're still processing times. And the reason we do that is because now we've anchored a certain aspect that isn't going to change. Now we process all the possibilities and we run everything through the filter of the choices we would like to make when we get to winter, spring, summer, fall, which is Aries, Libra, and Cancer, Capricorn time. So the processing always precedes the choice making and the decision making times. So once you learn the rhythm, that all gets easier and you get clearer. You get more clear along the way once you're in this rhythm naturally, that you know that it just repeats over and over and over and over and over. And you might even discover where you have some challenges that happen at the same time every year energetically. And it's, you know, if you can't figure it out, it's definitely my job to help you figure out how to turn that around and make it useful for you. So that's my other sidebar about how everything is a response to the last thing in preparation for the next thing. And that's the same thing we do with the rhythm of the seasons. When I say the fixed energies are the bones, the cardinal energies, the action and choices, the winter, spring, summer, fall, they're the muscles. And then the connections are the processing times, Virgo, Pisces, and Gemini, Sag. And those are the ligaments and tendons that connect the muscles to the bone so that they can do anything. So you see how we can't make our choices and decisions if we haven't made the proper connections first and line things up properly first. So that's why this rhythm gets so useful to apply across the board, because you can use it all kinds of different ways. So I hope that helps as a little sidebar that precedes what's coming next, which is on Thursday the 4th, when Mercury will conjunct Jupiter for the third and final time. It happened January 11th, February 14th, and this last time is March 4th. So this is a major initiation for sure of a totally new cycle of consciousness for yourself, for as an individual. Mercury makes it personal. Jupiter is a social level thing. So we're all kind of feeling this at a certain level. What's rare is that Mercury was retrograde to begin with, lingering in this space right when Jupiter arrived. So that is kind of one of the early signs of the new Jupiter 12-year cycle with Aquarius that's kicking off right now, that our little micro human ideas, thoughts, and concepts matter, and they're going to influence our consciousness and what we believe to be true or possible for ourselves. So we have to do better with filtering the little things, the, fact versus fiction out in the world, and tuning into our own senses to know what's real and right for ourselves is all part of the mix right now as we initiate a new, basically 12 years truth and story. We talk about Jupiter all the time in my circle. But this one's happened 3 times over, and it talks about expanding your thinking and developing more conscious awareness. So how's that been going for January, February, March? What have you kind of awakened to out of the unbelievably life-transforming year of 2020, right? This is just the first quarter of 21, so we're kind of all waking up from the dream or the nightmare, depending on where you're at, of 2020. But this one is a powerful energy assisting you on many levels. You will make connections easily and quickly that help you integrate newly acquired information or knowledge, making you appear psychic or at least lucky to others. And that's not what it is. It's really that you're just in alignment between your own human thinking and your higher consciousness or your higher self's thinking. At this time, you can connect with your highest ideal and most broad outlook for your life, and you may feel that you are finally ready to live your truth. You are so connected to your own ideal that you naturally give others permission to live their truth as well, creating an atmosphere of tolerance that feeds all involved. The challenge with this energy is going too broad and missing details that are vital to your success. You will also miss out on crucial information if you are too overconfident and/or self-righteous in any way. Remain humble, knowing that your way works for you, but it may not work for others and vice versa. And it's all okay. If you remain centered in the light and your own heart, this energy gives you a little boost to whatever you're creating at this time. So yeah, this is the other thing, big ideas that we can act on as little individuals. That's another good one about this. So whatever's been percolating, I know I've been doing a lot of research and validating my ideas in other ways. Like I said, with these new things I want to launch in the spring and the summer are getting ready. And that's what's been sparked with the Mercury retrograde in that zone. So on another note, I wanted to share these excellent questions about 2 weeks ago, but thanks to Mercury retrograde, here we are. They are still useful and relevant and will be a perfect complement, I see now, to this week's energies and alignments. They would be excellent journal prompts if you're in that kind of space or need to be, and great questions to consider during these monumental shifts within and around us. They come from fellow astrologer Lorna Bevan, who's from the UK. Her website is hairinthemoon.astrology.co.uk. Remember, she's from England. So Lorna says, in the Aquarian revelation wave of 2021, we are changing the way we do change. It's not linear. It's not about individual effort or striving. Instead, it's about taking good care of yourself, being in relationship with lived reality, which means on the ground in your body, embodied essence, turning away from every whiff of plastic and gloss and feeling your griefs, allowing your imperfections and exaggerating your eccentricities until the things you once tried to hide reveal themselves as your powers, and I would say your superpowers. Follow your curiosity off the beaten path. That's why I keep saying use your imagination for something positive. Chase down your most bizarre ideas and cutting edge inklings. That's where the magic happens. So she lists these questions to contemplate, and this is what I meant by journal prompts, and this is where we're going to close it for the week. What's one change I could make right now that would give me more peace? What would I love most right now? Where am I experiencing longing in my life? When am I going to allow myself to have what I truly want? If I were willing to step out of my comfort zone, what opportunities would arise for me? Who am I when I give myself full permission? Deep breath. How can I make myself redundant to the world of obligation? Oh my God, I love that one. I'm using that one as a quote one day. How can I make myself redundant to the world of obligation? We want to be responsible, but not obligated. What would be different if I chose to listen to, believe, and honor my own inner knowing? In the way I'm living my life, how am I being the medicine? Deep breath. Next time I have a choice, what if I asked, what solution lights me up? That's why I said use your imagination to imagine the miracles or the miraculous resolution to your problems and creative solutions to your problems, because that's where you'll find the solution that lights you up for sure. What is a wild and crazy idea that won't let me rest? Deep breath. What passions, experience, and skills do I have that I'm hiding? What if life has far bigger ideas for me than I do? Deep breath. What would my life look like if it's full of what works? Deep breath. There's our Virgo full moon popping in. She says, ask yourself some radically different questions. Instead of what is going to happen, ask, what am I going to create, transform, and risk? What am I going to create? What am I going to transform? And what am I going to risk? Instead of what's going to happen to me. We're not victims. We're co-creators. What does this threshold of permanent endings and uncertain new beginnings look like and feel like? Deep breath. This is the cusp of the year we face every year during Pisces time. Where in my life am I ready to experiment? If I were to consistently put my own interests first, what would I do differently right now? Deep breath. How can I show up where my tribes are? How can I expand my circle of influence by using the technology of the future, not the past? And the last question says, am I ready to be wired for magic, for something just beyond this? I say, yes, we are. So I hope that is fun and interesting and something different to hold you over while I am in transit. And I thank you all for your prayers and well wishes and understanding any delays in my responses. I promise to get back to you during the first week of March when I'm all set up again. And I so appreciate everyone. Reach out if you need to. Thanks again for listening and being part of the circle. Have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.